President Bola Tinubu urges young Africans to seek united, peaceful and prosperous continent. Border communities upbeat with lifting of ban on supply of petrol to filling stations.
Yeah, we have to travel to Oyo to get fuel. Even to own generator, it is very difficult, but we are very grateful.
Stomach and handbag. A very warm welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Vivian Izadifi. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu urges the next generation of Africans in science, technology, education, governance, entrepreneurship and the arts to boldly contribute to a united, peaceful and prosperous continent. Speaking as the guest of honor at the 25th anniversary of the Millennium Excellence Prize in Kumasi, Ghana, he highlighted the importance of collaboration among Africans in shaping their shared destiny. His message, delivered by Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Bianca Ojukwu, emphasized that the renewed hope agenda aimed at transforming lives, fostering inclusive growth and positioning Nigeria as a regional leader. Tinubu called on African youth to champion excellence, embrace leadership through service, and invest in their development while promoting cross-border collaboration. He expressed gratitude to His Majesty of the African Export-Import Bank, AFREXIM. Together, they represent the promise of a vibrant future for Africa. Residents of border communities in the Emeko Efo local government area of Ogun State are commending the federal government for lifting the ban of the supply of petrol to filling stations located within 20 kilometers to the border. Lukman Adefaso reports that this is sequel to a circular by the National Security Advisor through the Controller General, Nigerian Customs Service, announcing waivers for 66 filling stations located within the border communities to supply petroleum products.
Residents of border towns can now heave a sigh of relief following the partial lifting of the ban by the federal government. Federal government approved 2 filling stations in Emeko town, one each in Ilara, Ojodo and Ohumbe towns, which are already dispensing to the people.
We received the fuel on Monday. So, and immediately when people heard about the announcement, they were so excited.
Yeah, we have to travel to Oyo to get fuel. Even to own generator, it is very difficult, but we are very grateful that the government now heard our cry.
While appreciating the federal government for the reversal of the policy, stakeholders appealed to the federal government to allow more filling stations to dispense the products.
I just want to thank the Almighty and the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for giving us that relief. Our people have been suffering for the past 7 years, and we are buying a liter for 2,000 plus. Now, everybody is now give a sign of relief.
Even farmers, for them to use bulldozer to clear land, for them to use tractors to clear land, to make ridges, they have to go 20 kilometers before getting fuel. So now that the reverse is the case, you can see that agroeconomy business that this area is known for will be booming now.
Member representing Yewa North Imekwa from Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Boyega Nasir Isiaka, in a statement recalled how he facilitated the reversal of the policy on the floor of the House and his engagement with stakeholders.
Desperate attempt by a woman, Miracle Obehi, who disguised with hijab to export large consignments of cocaine concealed in her private part, stomach and false bottom of her handbag to Iran has been thwarted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at the Port Harcourt International Airport, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Obehi, who was dressed in hijab to beat security checks, was intercepted at the departure hall of the Port Harcourt Airport on Sunday, 3rd May 2025, while trying to board a Qatar airline flight to Iran via Doha following credible intelligence. She was found to have inserted 3 wraps of cocaine in her private part and 2 large parcels hidden in false compartment of her handbag, while she swallowed 67 pallets of the Class A drug. As a result, she was placed under excretion observation, and after 4 excretions that lasted days, she expelled the 67 wraps of the substance in her stomach. In like manner, NDLEA operatives at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, on Friday, 9th May, intercepted a 22-year-old British national, Campbell Kazira Kofi Jonas Silva, coming from Thailand through Doha on Qatar Airways flights with 2 suitcases loaded with 35 parcels of loud, a strong strain of cannabis weighing 37.6 kg. In Niger State, NDLEA officers acting on intelligence on Wednesday, 7th May, intercepted a fuel truck and 3 other vehicles loaded with 246 bags of skunk, a strain of cannabis with a combined weight of 347 kilograms along Suleja Kaduna Road. 4 suspects were arrested with the exhibits. Kano State Police Command says it has, within the last 2 weeks, recorded appreciable success with the arrests of more than 70 suspected criminals and substantial seizures of illicit drugs and recovered weapons. Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Adamu Bakori made this known during a news briefing highlighting recent security gains and ongoing efforts to keep the state safe. Elizabeth Lamido reports.
In the past 2 weeks, the Kano State Police Command arrested 78 suspects and recovered a range of dangerous weapons, illicit drugs, and counterfeit currencies. Speaking during a press briefing, Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Adamu Bakori credited the success to intelligence-driven strategies, community policing, and sustained patrols across the state.
These achievements are testament to the fact that the above strategies are a masterpiece in crime fighting and have helped to confront the trigger of crime, particularly drug trafficking and abuse.
One of the major breakthroughs was the arrest of an alleged notorious drug dealer, Suleiman Danwawu, with a large consignment of suspected tramadol. Also in custody is a suspected armed robber found with 2 Beretta pistols and 10 rounds of live ammunition. Recovered items within this period include 8 vehicles, several tricycles and motorcycles, more than 300,000 naira in counterfeit notes, and various narcotics such as codeine, cannabis, and pregabalin. The Commissioner pledged the Command's continued resolve to uphold peace and protect lives and property across the state. In Kano, Elizabeth Yilalamido, NTA News.
Still talking security, the Kogi State government has reaffirmed its commitment to the security and well-being of its citizens, assuring the public that it is intensifying efforts to safeguard lives and property across the state. In a statement issued by the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Famwo, the government described recent flashes of security threats as desperate attempts by criminal elements to disrupt the prevailing peace in the state. He maintained that such threats will not weaken the resolve of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo's administration to maintain law and order, adding that the government has already activated a range of strategic security operations, some of which cannot be publicly disclosed for operational effectiveness. Fanwo noted that the administration has continued to invest in strengthening the capacity of local vigilante networks while deepening collaboration with conventional security agencies. The commissioner also called on media practitioners to exercise responsibility in the reporting of security issues. He stressed the importance of avoiding sensationalism that could embolden criminal elements or cause unnecessary panic among the populace. The APC Youth Leaders Network has commended the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, for his remarkable contributions to national security, particularly in the Northwest region. The group, at a media briefing in Abuja, restated its commitment to truth, justice, and the preservation of democratic integrity that the APC stands for. They say the minister is a respected patriot whose legacy and contributions to national security, particularly in the Northwest, continue to uphold the visionary renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The group added that his tireless effort in coordinating local intelligence, diverting effective defense strategies, and supporting counter-insurgency operations in the Northwest region have yielded verifiable and commendable results.
We affirm our unwavering support and confidence in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the Minister of State for Defense, and all patriotic citizens that are working for the success of our nation. Bello Matawalle remains an epitome of service, an emblem of good leadership, loyalty, patriotism.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We'll bring you more reports shortly. Stay with us. Who welcomed Governor Soludo's move as strategic renewal of the Zikest alliance of the 50s when Nnamdi Azikiwe was a member of Western House of Assembly and Malam Umaru Altini from Sokoto was elected first mayor of Enugu City, an MPN and NPP alliance of the Second Republic. Commending Governor Soludo for the move, he said Igbos should neither disengage nor put all their eggs in one PDP's basket. Asked of the danger of one-party states, Okechukwu brushed the hype of one-party state aside, maintaining that APC does not need one-party states to win in 2027. Maintaining that Nigeria has over 10 political parties, uncountable tendency, and cannot slide into one-party system. Also reckoning that there is a coalition in the making. Pope Leo XIV has called for an end to war in the world as he greeted crowds from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica this Sunday. Ekene Ndelue reports that this is his second official public appearance since becoming the leader of the Catholic Church.
The new Pope did not shy from world events in his public address following a prayer to the Virgin Mary as he cited the recent 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, a conflict which killed 60 million people. As had his predecessor, Pope Francis, he appealed for a genuine, just and lasting peace in Ukraine and said he was deeply saddened by events in the Gaza Strip, calling for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Pope Leo's appearance drew tens of thousands of people anxious for a closer look at the modest pontiff, born Robert Francis Prevost, who before becoming pontiff spent much of his life as a missionary in Peru. Before his appearance, Pope Leo XIV celebrated Mass at the altar near the tomb of St. Peter, deep beneath the basilica, within the Vatican grottos with conclave on Thursday, praying he could heal rifts within the church, renew faith among the world's 1.4 billion Catholics, and address a host of modern-day challenges weighing on the more than 2,000-year-old institution. Cardinals described Pope Leo XIV as in the mold of Pope Francis, with a commitment to the poor and disadvantaged and a focus on Catholics in far-flung areas away from Rome. Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Tola, a national initiative that recognizes leadership excellence within Nigerians' public service, especially among executives in ministries, departments, and agencies, has organized the 2025 retreat in Abuja. Suleiman Abdul-Wahab reports that the gathering brought together key stakeholders to explore strategies for institutional excellence and leadership development.
The retreat started with a vibrant cultural display to celebrate participants and showcase Nigeria's rich heritage, setting a warm and engaging tone for the event.
It's all training on leadership. And at this age, whoever you are as a leader, you go through some mental challenges. So there's a doctor, a professional that was around to also educate them how they can manage their job and their health issues.
This year's retreat featured keynote addresses, panel discussions, and workshops focused on leadership, governance reforms, and institutional transformation.
Put the right people in the right position. Secondly, we provide leadership through exemplary leadership. And then thirdly, we ensure that we improve the capacity of our leaders.
Hard work, dedication, truthfulness, straightforwardness, and cooperation.
Tola honored public servants and community leaders who demonstrated innovation, ethical governance, and impactful leadership within their communities.
Actually, my humanitarian services was not in expectation of an award. I am an egalitarian and, I've been doing it over time.
Participants also engage in networking and knowledge sharing aimed at improving service delivery through transparency, accountability, and adaptive leadership.
When God gives you opportunity to sit in any place, humble yourself first. And the second aspect of it is for you to be ready to work with the people that you are representing. The third aspect of it is to give them consolation of a better tomorrow.
Outcome of 2025 Tola retreats are expected to support ongoing NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a recap of our major stories. President Bola Tinubu urges young Africans to seek united, peaceful, and prosperous continent. Border communities upbeat with lifting of ban on supply of petrol to filling stations.
Yeah, we have to travel to Oyo to get fuel. Even to on generator, it is very difficult, but we are very grateful.
NDLEA arrests Iran-bound woman with cocaine concealed in her private part, stomach, and handbag.
This is NTA News 24.
Moving on now, in a major boost to primary healthcare delivery, Jigawa State is making significant progress under the World Bank-supported Impact Project. The initiative is driving critical upgrades aimed at providing round-the-clock healthcare services across the state. Mohammed Musa Askira reports as high-level delegation from Abuja visits Jigawa to assess ongoing development and implementation milestones.
It is a new dawn for healthcare in Jigawa State as the World Bank's impact projects led by its technical team leader Dr. Olorunde commits a staggering $11 million exclusively to the state. The funding is aimed at upgrading 114 primary healthcare facilities and enhancing service delivery across the state. During a working visit from the World Bank team based in Abuja, Dr. Olorunde emphasized the project's mission to double healthcare service delivery, ensuring that qualified health workers are not only present in these facilities but also accessible to the people who need need them most. Despite Jigawa not being among the 5 northern states with the highest maternal mortality rates, the state is not resting on its laurels. The IMPACT project has already yielded results, especially in maternal health, where the provision of mama kits, support for traditional birth attendants, and expanded immunization coverage are making measurable differences. Governor Umar Namadi says under his leadership, the state has employed over 1,500 new healthcare workers. In addition, temporary J Health staff are being paired well with a clear plan to regularize